Beloved soul, this is not a random message. This is not a coincidence. On March 12th, something shifts in the unseen realm, and Archangel Michael says this message arrives before a turning point. What you do next determines whether delay ends or continues. Watch this now and do not ignore the timing. There are moments in life that look ordinary on the outside but carry eternal weight on the inside. March 12th is one of those moments. It is a spiritual checkpoint, a divine intersection, a line drawn quietly in the sand between what has been delayed and what is about to be released. You have been asking, why is it taking so long? You have been wondering, did I miss something? You have been praying, God, when will it finally move? And today heaven answers. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian over transitions. He does not come casually. He does not interrupt without purpose. When he speaks, it is because a shift is near. And he says this clearly: the delay you have been experiencing is not permanent, but your next move matters. Listen carefully. There has been a cycle around you, a pattern of almost breakthrough, almost restoration, almost opportunity. You felt it many times, something building, something close, then suddenly it stalled. You blamed timing. You blamed people. You blamed yourself. But what if the delay was waiting for alignment? March 12th marks a turning point in alignment. Not because the calendar is magical, not because the date itself has power, but because your obedience and awareness meet heaven's instruction at this precise hour. This is why you are hearing this now. Archangel Michael reveals that there hath been unseen resistance, not chaos, not destruction, just resistance, like a door that requires one final push. And many of you stopped pushing too soon. You grew tired. You grew quiet. You adjusted to the delay instead of confronting it. But hear this clearly. Delay is not denial. Delay is often preparation. There were lessons you had to learn. There were habits that needed refining. There were conversations you avoided. There were steps you postponed. And heaven waited, not to punish you, but to position you. Now the positioning phase is ending. The question is, will you respond? Because this turning point is activated by action, not fear-driven action, not rushed action, but intentional obedience. Archangel Michael says, what you do next determines whether delay ends or continues. That sentence carries weight. It means you are not powerless. It means the story is not stuck. It means heaven has already moved, but it is waiting for your agreement. Some of you must release resentment. Some of you must make the phone call. Some of you must finally start what you keep postponing. Some of you must forgive yourself. The delay is connected to a decision. And here is the deeper revelation. You already know what that decision is. It has been whispering to you for weeks. It surfaces when you are alone. It rises when you try to sleep. You push it down because it feels uncomfortable. Because change requires courage. Because stepping forward means leaving something familiar behind. But March 12th is not asking for comfort. It is asking for clarity. Archangel Michael does not bring fear. He brings awareness. He brings a sword of truth, not to harm, but to cut away confusion. The turning point is not about drama. It is about direction. You have been circling the same mountain, same thoughts, same excuses, same waiting pattern. And heaven says, enough circling. This is the hour to step forward. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Not when everyone agrees with you. Now. There is a window opening. It is subtle but real. Opportunities may not look dramatic. They may appear simple. A conversation, an idea, a sudden nudge to reorganize your life. Do not underestimate small obedience. Small obedience breaks long delays. The enemy of your progress hath been hesitation. The cure is decisive faith. And here is something powerful. March 12th is not about pressure. It is about permission. Permission to move. Permission to outgrow what no longer fits. Permission to believe that the waiting season is ending. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of this turning point declaring, "Step forward, and the path will respond." You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. But you are being tested in responsiveness. Heaven has already scheduled the shift. The only question is whether you will align with it or watch it pass by. This message arrived before the turning point so you could prepare, not panic. So you could act, not freeze. So you could recognize the timing, not ignore it. Something that felt locked is about to loosen. Something that felt delayed is about to accelerate. But your agreement matters. So take a breath. Clear your mind. Ask yourself honestly, what step have I been avoiding? Because that step is connected to the end of delay. And as March 12th approaches, remember this: turning points are quiet before they are visible. They happen in decisions before they happen in results. Archangel Michael has spoken. The timing is intentional. The moment is real. Now the next move is yours. Chosen one, the reason this message found you before March 12th is because preparation always comes before manifestation. Archangel Michael is not announcing a turning point to impress you. He's announcing it to awaken you. There is a difference. Many people want change, but very few prepare for it. And what is coming cannot rest on the old version of you. You have prayed for acceleration, but you are still holding on to delay habits. You have asked for expansion, but you are still thinking in survival mode. You have declared that you are ready, yet your actions whisper hesitation. This is where the shift either activates or pauses again. March 12th is not just a date. It is a mirror. It will reflect back to you what you have chosen in the days leading up to it. If you choose courage, it will amplify courage. If you choose fear, it will expose fear. Heaven does not override your will. It responds to it. Archangel Michael is revealing something deeper now. The delay was not only about external resistance. It was also about internal agreement. Somewhere along the way, you subconsciously agreed with limitation. You adjusted to waiting. You normalized maybe someday. And that agreement slowed momentum. But agreements can be broken. This is where many miss their moment. They think breakthrough happens automatically when the time comes. No. Breakthrough partners with decision. It partners with alignment. It partners with movement. Here is something you must confront before the turning point fully unlocks. It may be procrastination. It may be doubt. It may be a relationship dynamic that drains your clarity. It may be a fear of visibility. Whatever it is, it has been quietly feeding the delay. And Archangel Michael says this clearly: you cannot carry delay thinking into a breakthrough season. You must shift your posture. Instead of asking, what if it fails? Begin asking, what if this is the exact door heaven has opened? Instead of saying, I will wait and see, say, I will move and trust. Your next action does not have to be dramatic. It has to be decisive. Some of you need to organize your environment because clutter has been clouding your focus. Some of you need to send that message you have drafted 10 times. Some of you need to wake up earlier and dedicate the first moments of your day to clarity instead of distraction. Small obedience signals readiness, and readiness attracts acceleration. You must understand something powerful. The turning point is not trying to find you. You already have. That is why you feel this stirring. That is why this message feels timed. That is why there is a tension between comfort and movement inside you. Heaven is not silent right now. It is strategic. Archangel Michael stands as a protector of divine assignments. When he speaks of timing, it means alignment is being measured, not to judge you, but to see if you will cooperate with the shift. Do not underestimate cooperation. Many delays continue simply because people wait for motivation instead of choosing discipline. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is spiritual maturity. And maturity ends cycles. You are closer than you think. But closeness demands courage. There may be one conversation that feels uncomfortable but necessary. There may be one step that feels risky but aligned. There may be one decision that closes an old chapter so a new one can breathe. If you ignore it, the delay extends. If you respond, the delay dissolves. This is not pressure. This is empowerment. And let me speak directly to you right now. If this message is resonating, if something inside you knows this is not random, then engage with it. Declare your agreement. Write in the comments, I choose alignment. When you comment, you are not just typing words. You are making a decision visible. Share this message with someone who has been stuck in delay. Subscribe to this channel and become part of a community that refuses to remain stagnant. When you like and support this video, you amplify the reach of messages that awaken others before their turning points. Do not stay silent if your spirit is being stirred, because here is the truth. Silence prolongs hesitation. Engagement activates intention. And as March 12th approaches, the atmosphere around you will begin to feel different. You may notice clarity increase. You may notice restlessness with old patterns. You may feel urgency rising, but not panic. That urgency is alignment calling you forward. Before the calendar shifts, ask yourself one bold question. If delay truly ended this week, what would I need to be ready for? That question will expose preparation gaps. Fill them now. Organize your thoughts. Clean your space. Clarify your goals. Forgive quickly. Release distractions. Choose discipline. Take one tangible step toward the thing you have postponed. Because what you do next determines whether delay ends or continues. And trust me, what unfolds from this point forward will challenge everything you thought was holding you back. You will want to see how this connects, because the next revelation exposes the hidden layer behind the delay itself. Faithful heart, what you are about to understand now is the hidden layer behind the delay that no one explained to you before. Archangel Michael is revealing that the delay was never just about timing. It was about transformation. And transformation is rarely comfortable. You thought you were waiting on a door to open. In reality, heaven was waiting for your identity to mature. There was a version of you that could not sustain what you were praying for. If it had arrived earlier, you might have mishandled it, doubted it, or even sabotaged it. So the delay became protection. This is why some opportunities slipped away. This is why some plans collapsed unexpectedly. This is why certain people exited your life without clear explanation. It felt like loss. It felt like confusion. But in the unseen realm, it was alignment restructuring your environment. Archangel Michael stands guard over divine order. When he speaks before a turning point, it is because the structure is shifting. Old foundations that were built on insecurity, fear, or external validation cannot carry the weight of what is coming next. You have been strengthened in silence. You have been refined in uncertainty. You have been trained in patience. And now the training phase is meeting a decision point. There is something critical you must see. Delay loses power when you stop identifying with it. For too long, you have introduced yourself internally as the one who is still waiting, still trying, still hoping. That identity quietly shaped your expectations. You expected postponement. You expected resistance. You expected not yet. But March 12th interrupts that narrative. Archangel Michael says the turning point requires a new internal introduction. Instead of saying, "I am stuck," begin saying, "I am positioned." Instead of saying, "It has not happened," say, "It is unfolding." Language shapes agreement. Agreement shapes outcomes. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about aligning your inner dialogue with a shift that is already forming. There was also a spiritual test hidden in your delay. Would you remain consistent even without visible results? Would you continue believing without applause? Would you keep preparing without confirmation? Many stopped just before their breakthrough because silence discouraged them. But you did not completely give up. That is why you are here. Archangel Michael is not speaking to those who abandoned their path. He is speaking to those who stayed, even when clarity was thin. That endurance qualified you for this moment. Now the atmosphere changes. Between now and March 12th, you may feel an urge to let go of certain emotional weights. You may suddenly recognize habits that no longer fit. You may feel conviction about conversations that need resolution. Do not ignore these promptings. They are not random thoughts. They are signals of alignment. There is also a warning wrapped in this message. If you cling to old comfort, the delay extends. If you cling to old narratives, the cycle repeats. The turning point is real, but it respects your cooperation. You are not being forced. You are being invited. Imagine standing at the edge of a bridge. The other side represents acceleration, clarity, and movement. But you must step forward. No one can carry you across. Archangel Michael guards the crossing, but he does not push you. He protects those who move in obedience. And here is the deeper truth. The turning point is not just about material breakthrough. It is about spiritual authority. When you end a cycle of delay through decisive alignment, you gain confidence that cannot be shaken easily again. You learn that obedience shifts timelines. You learn that courage disrupts stagnation. This is bigger than one moment. It is about breaking a pattern that followed you for years. March 12th is simply the marker. The real shift is internal. So tonight, reflect honestly. What version of you must remain behind so the next version can emerge? What fear must dissolve? What excuse must expire? What discipline must become non-negotiable? Archangel Michael is saying, do not treat this as ordinary time. There is weight in these days. There is divine precision in this message reaching you now. You were not informed by accident. You were prepared on purpose. If this message confirms something deep within you, seal it with intention. Type "I receive the shift" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 314 is now activated over your turning point. Now hear this as a continuation of what has just been spoken. When you respond to this call, you are not only stepping into personal breakthrough, you are participating in a greater mission. The harvest of clarity, the light of truth, the oil of preparation must reach more souls before their own turning points arrive. Scripture declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." And this is not a distant verse. It is the living voice of God inviting you into partnership. As you sow into this ground through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding a channel. You are opening doors for someone else's delay to end. I feel led to say this plainly. I choose to help this message travel further. When you act on that prompting, heaven records it as obedience, not donation. There is urgency in this hour because timing matters. Those who sow into divine moments reap accelerated harvests. So step into this flow boldly and support this mission now. Anointed listener, the turning point that approaches March 12th is not only about what you will gain, but about what you must release with finality. Archangel Michael is now revealing the weight that has quietly extended your delay, and it is not as obvious as you think. It is attachment. Not a day to be alone, not a day to have it on, not a day to get through. You have wanted the breakthrough, but you also wanted to manage how it arrives. You wanted certainty before movement. You wanted guarantees before obedience. Yet divine shifts rarely come with full explanations in advance. Control feels safe. Surrender feels risky. But delay often hides in the space between those two. There were moments when you sensed an instruction clearly. A nudge to step out. A nudge to trust differently. A nudge to detach from something comfortable but limiting. Instead of moving, you negotiated. You asked for another sign. You postponed. And every postponement quietly reinforced the cycle. This is not condemnation. It is clarity. Archangel Michael stands as a warrior of alignment, not aggression. When he speaks before a shift, it is because heaven is recalibrating your direction. And recalibration requires honesty. You cannot carry hidden resistance into a new season. Look carefully at your recent patterns. Where have you hesitated even though your spirit already knew the answer? Where have you stayed silent when you should have spoken? Where have you settled because stretching felt inconvenient? The delay attached itself to hesitation. March 12th approaches like a doorway that does not remain open forever. The opportunity is real, but it respects readiness. Readiness is not perfection. It is willingness. You must understand something deeper. The turning point is less about external events and more about internal authority. When you release control, you reclaim power. When you surrender fear, you gain clarity. When you act despite uncertainty, you align with momentum. Archangel Michael is emphasizing discipline now. Not harsh discipline, but focused commitment. You cannot pray for change while maintaining habits that contradict it. If you desire growth, your daily rhythm must reflect growth. If you desire breakthrough, your schedule must honor preparation. Some of you need to restructure your mornings. Some of you need to limit distractions that consume your mental energy. Some of you need to create boundaries around conversations that drain your vision. These adjustments may seem small, but they send a strong signal to the unseen realm. I am ready, and readiness shifts timelines. There is also an emotional layer that must be addressed. You have carried disappointment quietly. You told yourself you were fine. You told others you were patient. But deep down, you felt weary. That weariness softened your expectations. You began hoping less so it would hurt less. But guarded hope is still fear. Archangel Michael says this clearly. Do not shrink your expectation to match your past delays. Expand your expectation to match your coming shift. You are not preparing for another cycle of almost. You are preparing for completion. Between now and the turning point, watch how your thoughts respond to opportunity. If you immediately think, this probably will not work, challenge that voice. That voice belongs to the delay season. It does not belong to the new one. Replace it with intention. Say, I will respond differently this time. This is how cycles break. Here is something else you must see. When delay ends, responsibility increases. You will not be able to blame timing anymore. You will not be able to blame lack of clarity. Once the door opens, stewardship begins. And heaven does not release what will be neglected. So ask yourself honestly, if the breakthrough arrived tomorrow, would your discipline sustain it? That question is not meant to intimidate you. It is meant to prepare you. Archangel Michael is not announcing a turning point for emotional excitement. He is announcing it for strategic alignment. Your habits, your mindset, your environment, and your focus must cooperate with what is forming. You are closer than you realize. There may be subtle confirmations in the coming days. Unexpected encouragement. New ideas surfacing with unusual clarity. A sense that something is organizing behind the scenes. Pay attention. These are not random. They are indicators. But do not wait for dramatic signs. The real sign is the conviction you feel right now. March 12th will not feel loud. It will feel decisive. And here is the final layer of this revelation. The delay was teaching you endurance. The turning point will teach you authority. Endurance taught you how to survive uncertainty. Authority will teach you how to command direction. You are transitioning from waiting to leading your own obedience. Release control. Embrace discipline. Strengthen your expectation. Adjust your habits. Speak differently. Act intentionally. What you do next still determines whether delay ends or continues. And the next unveiling will show you exactly how this turning point begins to manifest in visible ways, because the signs will be clearer than you expect. Watchful soul, as March 12th approaches, you must understand that turning points rarely announce themselves with noise. Archangel Michael is revealing that the shift you are about to experience will first appear as subtle changes in perception before it becomes visible in circumstances. If you are expecting thunder, you may miss the whisper. And this whisper carries authority. The first manifestation of a true turning point is mental clarity. Thoughts that once felt crowded begin to organize themselves. The confusion that delayed your confidence starts dissolving. You may wake up one morning and realize that a decision you struggled with for months suddenly feels simple. That simplicity is not accidental. It is the evidence of alignment. When delay dominates a season, everything feels heavy and uncertain. You question your instincts. You replay conversations. You overanalyze minor details. But when the delay begins to break, overthinking loses its grip. You still care, but you no longer spiral. You start trusting your discernment again. That is the beginning. The second sign is a holy dissatisfaction with what you once tolerated. Environments that felt manageable now feel restrictive. Patterns you excused now feel unacceptable. It is not that those things suddenly became worse. It is that you have grown beyond them. Growth creates tension with what is outdated. Archangel Michael indicates that this discomfort is confirmation, not confusion. When you sense that you cannot remain where you are, it means your spirit recognizes that staying would reactivate delay. Expansion requires new space. You cannot carry old limitations into a new season. There is also an increase in courage that rises quietly. You may notice yourself imagining possibilities without immediately dismissing them. You may feel drawn toward opportunities you once avoided. The fear is still present, but it no longer dictates your choices. Courage begins to speak first. Do not ignore that voice. This is where cooperation becomes critical. Many people feel the shift but hesitate at the final step. They sense clarity but delay action. They recognize growth but cling to familiarity. And in doing so, they unintentionally prolong the cycle. If clarity appears, respond quickly. If conviction rises, act on it. If you see a necessary change, implement it without negotiation. Delay feeds on postponement. Momentum feeds on obedience. Between now and March 12th, you may encounter what feels like a final test. An old habit may tempt you. An old fear may attempt to resurface. A familiar distraction may invite you back into comfort. This is not coincidence. It is exposure. The previous season is revealing itself one last time to see if you will return. Respond differently. If you once avoided confrontation, choose honesty. If you once procrastinated, choose immediate action. If you once doubted your worth, choose confident acceptance. Every new response weakens the roots of delay. Another sign of the turning point is unexpected alignment in small areas. A conversation may resolve faster than expected. An idea may receive support without struggle. A resource may appear at the right time. These are early indicators that resistance is losing strength. Archangel Michael guards transitions, and when he speaks of timing, it means the unseen barriers have already been addressed. What remains is your visible participation. You must also prepare emotionally for acceleration. It is possible to become so accustomed to waiting that progress feels uncomfortable. When things begin moving, you might question whether it is too fast. You not sabotage movement because it feels unfamiliar. Growth always stretches your comfort zone. Favor may approach you in quiet ways. Someone may notice your consistency. An opportunity may open without your chasing it. Do not minimize these moments. Accept them with confidence. You have endured preparation for this reason. Guard your language carefully during this time. Speak as someone who expects movement. Instead of saying, "We will see," say, "I am stepping forward." Instead of saying, "If it happens," say, "As it unfolds." Words reinforce alignment. Also be mindful of who you confide in. Not everyone understands divine timing. Some may project their fears onto your progress. Protect your focus. Share your plans with those who support growth, not those who feed hesitation. The turning point may not arrive in dramatic fashion. It may begin with one decisive action that sets everything else in motion. A message sent. A boundary established. A commitment honored. These small acts trigger larger shifts. And when it begins, you will sense it. A heaviness that defined the delay will start lifting. You will feel lighter in your decisions. You will notice that doors once resisted now respond. The difference will not be loud, but it will be undeniable. You are not waiting for permission anymore. You are stepping into authority. The delay season trained your endurance. The turning point activates your leadership over your own obedience. Stay alert. Stay disciplined. Stay intentional. Because the next revelation will expose how the people around you either strengthen this acceleration or quietly attempt to pull you back into delay. And understanding that dynamic will protect what is about to unfold. Determined soul, as March 12th stands before you like a silent gate, there is a crucial dimension that must be confronted with honesty. Archangel Michael is revealing that the final stretch before a turning point is often the most delicate because it exposes the influence of the voices surrounding you. Delay does not only survive through circumstances, it survives through agreement. And agreement is often shaped by the company you keep. Every season of your life has carried its own circle. When you were uncertain, you found comfort in those who normalized uncertainty. When you were frustrated, you connected with those who shared similar complaints. A shared understanding felt supportive at the time. But now, as you approach acceleration, that same environment can quietly restrain you. You must discern the difference between empathy and reinforcement of stagnation. Some people understand your struggle but do not challenge your growth. They listen, but they do not stretch you. They sympathize, but they do not strengthen you. And in a season of transition, neutrality can become resistance. Archangel Michael is not instructing you to reject people harshly. He is guiding you to evaluate influence carefully. Influence is subtle. It shows up in small comments, casual conversations, and repeated phrases. If you constantly hear reminders of your past failures, your mind begins rehearsing them again. If you repeatedly engage with doubt, it weakens your decisiveness. As the turning point approaches, you may notice shifts in dialogue. Some individuals will encourage your boldness. Others will question your readiness. Some will celebrate your discipline. Others may subtly mock your intensity. Watch these patterns closely. This is not about becoming defensive. It is about becoming aware. The truth is, not everyone is prepared for your growth. When you begin changing habits, elevating discipline, and guarding your time, it disrupts expectations. Those who were comfortable with your delay may feel unsettled by your momentum. Your transformation forces them to confront their own choices. And here lies a quiet danger. If you crave approval more than progress, you may unconsciously slow down to maintain comfort in relationships. You may shrink your ambition to avoid making others uncomfortable. That shrinking reactivates delay. Archangel Michael emphasizes that alignment sometimes requires distance. Not dramatic separation, but intentional boundaries. Boundaries protect clarity. They ensure that your energy is invested in growth, not drained by constant explanation. Between now and March 12th, pay attention to how you feel after certain conversations. Do you feel strengthened or scattered? Do you feel focused or doubtful? Your emotional response is an indicator of influence. You must also examine your inner voice. External doubt only gains power when it echoes something unresolved within you. If someone questions your capability and you immediately retreat, it reveals an area that still needs reinforcement. Instead of feeling offended, use that moment to fortify your confidence. The turning point demands internal stability. It demands that you stand firm even when others hesitate. You can respect opinions without surrendering conviction. You can listen without absorbing fear. There may also be surprising support emerging from unexpected places. Someone who observed your consistency quietly may step forward with encouragement. A connection from your past may resurface with alignment instead of distraction. Be open to healthy reinforcement. Growth attracts new alliances. However, discernment remains essential. Not every familiar voice belongs in your accelerated season. Some relationships were designed for your endurance phase, not your authority phase. And that is not a judgment. It is timing. Archangel Michael stands guard over spiritual territory. Territory includes your thoughts, your habits, and your associations. If old dynamics dominate your new decisions, you compromise the shift that has already begun forming. As you move toward this date, protect your schedule intentionally. Limit exposure to environments that trigger procrastination. Reduce conversations that revolve around complaint and comparison. Increase time invested in preparation, reflection, and decisive action. You may feel moments of emotional intensity during this transition. That intensity is separation occurring beneath the surface. The old season is loosening. Attachments that once felt permanent are being redefined. Do not interpret this as loss. Interpret it as refinement. Stand firm in your adjustments. Continue refining your discipline. Continue acting on clarity without waiting for applause. Let your consistency speak louder than announcements. When results begin to surface, explanation will not be necessary. And if this message is awakening boldness within you, do not remain passive. Engage with it. Declare your commitment in the comments so your decision becomes tangible. Share this message with someone who needs courage before their own turning point. Subscribe and align yourself with a community that refuses stagnation. When you actively support and engage, you reinforce your own momentum while strengthening others who are preparing for breakthrough. Keep your focus here, because what is about to be revealed next exposes the final internal barrier that attempts to sabotage acceleration right before manifestation. Recognizing it in advance will protect you from repeating delay at the very edge of victory. Brave soul, you have come too far to misunderstand what happens at the edge of a turning point. Archangel Michael is now unveiling the final internal barrier that often rises just before acceleration becomes visible. It is not lack of preparation. It is not lack of opportunity. It is the fear of visibility. Delay has a strange comfort to it. When progress is slow, expectations remain low. When movement is minimal, pressure is minimal. You can tell yourself you are still working on it without anyone demanding results. Delay allows you to grow quietly, without scrutiny. But a turning point changes that. March 12th is not just about ending postponement. It is about stepping into a space where your growth becomes noticeable. And visibility requires courage of a different kind. It requires you to be seen in your authority, not just in your effort. Ask yourself something honest. Have you grown used to being underestimated? Have you found security in others expecting less from you? When no one expects greatness, you do not have to risk proving anything. You can remain in preparation mode indefinitely. Archangel Michael makes this clear. Preparation was never meant to become permanent hiding. You were refined in delay so that when visibility arrives, you would carry substance, not insecurity. But even with preparation, stepping forward feels vulnerable. Once you accept responsibility publicly, retreat becomes more difficult. Once you declare your readiness, excuses lose power. This is why many hesitate at the threshold. They pray for opportunity, but when the door opens, they suddenly feel exposed. They question their adequacy. They remember past mistakes. They imagine criticism. And so they slow down at the very edge of acceleration. Between now and March 12th, you may feel an unusual tension. On one side, excitement about movement. On the other, a subtle urge to shrink back. That tension is not confusion. It is transition. You are moving from private preparation to public demonstration. Visibility does not always mean fame or applause. It can mean leadership in your workplace. It can mean influence in your family. It can mean responsibility in a project that stretches you. It can mean speaking up when silence used to feel easier. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of divine assignments. Assignments require expression. They require presence. They require your voice to carry weight. And weight cannot be carried in hiding. You must confront the belief that staying small keeps you safe. Staying small may keep you comfortable, but it also keeps you delayed. Growth invites observation. Progress attracts attention. And attention tests your confidence. Here is the deeper truth. The fear of visibility often disguises itself as humility. You may say, "I do not want the spotlight." But humility is not avoidance. True humility accepts responsibility without arrogance. It does not reject growth to avoid pressure. As your turning point approaches, opportunities may arise that position you more prominently. Someone may acknowledge your capability. A role may open that requires initiative. An idea you have nurtured privately may need to be shared publicly. In those moments, resist minimizing yourself. Do not deflect recognition that is earned through discipline. Do not dismiss invitations that align with your preparation. Do not hide behind uncertainty when you are equipped. You have endured seasons of obscurity. You have faced frustration without quitting. You have refined your habits quietly. That endurance builds substance. Now substance must be expressed. There may also be fear of criticism. When you were less visible, fewer people commented on your choices. But as you step forward, opinions may increase. Not all will be supportive. Some may reference who you used to be. Some may doubt your growth. But remember this: they are responding to an outdated version of you. Archangel Michael reminds you that identity must solidify before visibility expands. You are no longer the hesitant version shaped by delay. You are the disciplined version shaped by endurance. When criticism appears, let it confirm that movement is happening. Between now and the turning point, practice boldness intentionally. Speak your ideas clearly. Accept responsibility without apology. Volunteer for growth opportunities. Each small act strengthens your confidence for larger platforms. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is movement despite fear. And understand this: your visibility carries impact beyond you. When you step into your next level, others witness possibility. Your courage challenges stagnation in those around you. Your progress becomes evidence that delay can end. Do not rob others of that example by shrinking back. March 12th represents more than personal acceleration. It represents the unveiling of the authority forged in your waiting season. You were hidden to be strengthened, not to remain concealed. Stand fully in what you have become, because what is coming next reveals how distraction attempts one final interruption before breakthrough becomes undeniable. Recognizing that distraction in advance will protect your visibility and preserve your momentum. Beloved child, as you approach March 12th, there is one final force attempting to test the stability of your breakthrough. Archangel Michael reveals that this test is subtle yet powerful. It is distraction disguised as urgency, and if you are not vigilant, it can quietly steal the momentum you have worked so hard to build. The closer you move to this turning point, the more intense these distractions become, not as punishment, but as a measurement of your readiness. Distraction rarely arrives as obvious chaos. It comes wrapped in familiarity. It comes in the form of tasks that seem urgent but are not essential. It masquerades as responsibility, claiming that if you do not respond immediately, something significant will be lost. But the truth is, not all that demands your attention deserves your energy. The timing of a turning point is deliberate, and your obedience determines whether it accelerates or stalls. You may feel pressure in your work, in your relationships, or even in your personal ambitions. Small conflicts may suddenly appear, testing your patience and emotional discipline. A misunderstanding at home, a comment at work, a sudden demand from someone else, all can feel weighty at the wrong time. If you allow these interruptions to control your response, you risk re-entering the delay cycle you are leaving behind. Archangel Michael is warning you that discernment is now critical. Ask yourself, does this truly align with my next season, or is it a detour disguised as opportunity? Not every open door is meant for you. Some appear just to measure your focus, to see if you will maintain clarity in the face of convenience or pressure. These are not obstacles meant to discourage you. They are the final checkpoints of alignment. Distraction also comes through nostalgia. As you prepare to step fully into your new season, old memories, familiar routines, and past comforts may resurface. You may feel drawn to what once felt safe, what once felt familiar, and what once required less courage. While nostalgia is not inherently harmful, it can romanticize delay and make you hesitant to move fully into what is new. Archangel Michael emphasizes that this season demands decisive forward motion, not attachment to the comfort of the past. You may also notice the temptation to overcompensate. Some will attempt to force the breakthrough prematurely through frantic activity, believing that more effort equals faster results. This is a subtle form of distraction. Acceleration does not require chaos, it requires alignment. The turning point arrives in divine timing, and your role is to act consistently, intentionally, and with clarity, not frantically. Misplaced effort can exhaust you without producing the intended outcome. Between now and March 12th, cultivate calm, focused awareness. Evaluate every action and every obligation against your ultimate goal. Does it move you closer to the breakthrough, or does it consume energy without impact? If it does not serve alignment, address it efficiently, and then release it. Protect your energy like a sacred resource, because this turning point depends on your ability to act without fragmentation. Emotional reactions can also serve as distraction. Some situations may provoke frustration or anxiety, tempting you to respond from the old pattern of delay. Archangel Michael reminds you that the turning point favors measured response. Your spiritual maturity is being tested in how you manage these emotional triggers. Calm, intentional action preserves the alignment that prepares the path for acceleration. You may feel subtle signs of favor as well. Conversations may resolve more quickly than expected. Small opportunities may align perfectly. Resources may appear when you need them most. These early indicators are confirmations that resistance has weakened and your path is being prepared. However, notice the difference between what aligns with your preparation and what diverts you. Only act where clarity affirms your next step. If you find this message speaking directly to your spirit, declare it openly. Type "I stay focused" in the comments if this is confirming your alignment. Blessing code 818 is now activated over your discipline and clarity. Your obedience here will protect not just your momentum, but also the authority of the path you are stepping into. And hear this: the movement you maintain now has influence beyond yourself. Every act of focus, every decision to resist distraction, becomes a visible example for others who are waiting in their own seasons of delay. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or PayPal donations in the description, you are not simply funding a channel. You are planting seeds of clarity, courage, and alignment in the lives of souls who might otherwise miss their turning points. This is a prophetic act of partnership and acceleration. When you give, you are participating in the movement of divine timing. Heaven responds to this obedience with multiplication, opening unseen doors and ensuring that your breakthrough aligns perfectly with purpose. Now, remember this: the turning point is already forming. The forces that once resisted your momentum are weakening, but it requires you to maintain precision in focus, discipline in action, and wisdom in emotional response. Let trivial urgency, past nostalgia, and misplaced effort fall away. Step intentionally, act decisively, and preserve the momentum you have fought so diligently to cultivate. Your breakthrough is approaching, and every choice you make between now and March 12th shapes whether it manifests fully or experiences delay. What follows will reveal the exact moment when the turning point becomes undeniable and how you will recognize the shift as it materializes in your life, bringing clarity, opportunity, and alignment all at once. Beloved soul, The moment is nearing when the turning point will no longer be subtle, when the signs of acceleration become unmistakable. Archangel Michael is now revealing how you will recognize the manifestation of this shift in your life, so that you are not caught off guard and can step fully into alignment with courage and clarity. The breakthrough you have been awaiting will not arrive as a single, dramatic explosion, though some may experience it that way. More often, it unfolds in a series of unmistakable confirmations, each one signaling that delay has lost its grip and the path forward is opening. The first unmistakable sign is an increase in opportunities that feel aligned with your purpose. Doors that once appeared closed or resistant will begin to show cracks. Conversations that used to feel stagnant will suddenly become productive and even transformative. Your efforts, which once felt unnoticed, will start to yield visible responses. These openings are not random coincidences. They are the direct result of the alignment you have cultivated through discipline, focus, and obedience. Archangel Michael emphasizes that these opportunities are the confirmation of heaven's orchestration. They are your cue to act decisively. The second sign is the emergence of clarity in relationships and collaborations. People who are aligned with your next season will step forward in ways that support your growth. Those who were meant to guide, encourage, or connect with you at this level of momentum will appear naturally, often when you least expect it. Conversely, relationships that are misaligned or that perpetuate delay will begin to feel uncomfortable, strained, or distant. This is not rejection, it is recalibration. Heaven orchestrates relationships to protect your progress and amplify your breakthrough. Recognize the difference between natural separation and loss. Archangel Michael is guiding this discernment, ensuring that you maintain alignment without confusion. The third indicator of a turning point is a new rhythm in your personal energy. Tasks that once drained you will begin to feel lighter. Decisions that previously felt overwhelming will now appear simple and intuitive. This is your spirit aligning with divine timing. You will feel a sense of momentum internally that mirrors what is unfolding externally. Archangel Michael reveals that this energy shift is essential because it signals readiness to handle the responsibility that accompanies acceleration. Without this internal alignment, external breakthroughs may be unsustainable. Pay close attention to your feelings of strength, clarity, and determination. They are reliable indicators that the turning point is actively manifesting. Another critical aspect of this unfolding is the sudden removal or resolution of obstacles that once seemed permanent. Situations that appeared immovable will begin to shift. Delays that felt endless will suddenly shorten. This does not mean challenges disappear entirely, but they are now manageable, and solutions that were previously elusive may present themselves naturally. Archangel Michael makes it clear that these resolutions are not random. They are a direct response to your alignment, your obedience, and your readiness to step forward into the opportunities being prepared for you. You will also notice increased synchronicity in daily events. Small signs, coincidences, and confirmations will appear more frequently. These are not meant to be interpreted as superstition, but as guidance. Archangel Michael uses these synchronicities to direct attention toward opportunities, relationships, and decisions that are pivotal for sustaining the momentum of the turning point. Pay attention to repeated numbers, timely messages, and unexpected encouragement. These subtle cues are heaven's way of ensuring that you remain aware and responsive. As this turning point unfolds, resistance from the old season will attempt to reassert itself one last time. This may take the form of doubt, fear, or the temptation to revert to familiar comfort zones. Archangel Michael warns that these final tests are designed to measure your readiness. How you respond now determines whether the acceleration becomes permanent or experiences interruption. Respond with discipline, focus, and decisive action. Do not allow past patterns, fear, or hesitation to dilute the progress that hath been painstakingly built. Another unmistakable confirmation is a growing sense of divine peace surrounding your decisions. While excitement may increase, it is accompanied by an inner certainty that you are moving correctly. This peace is different from complacency. It is assurance from heaven that you are aligned with purpose. Archangel Michael emphasizes that when this peace is present, it signals the alignment of your spirit with the next stage of manifestation. Listen to it. Follow it. Allow it to guide your actions without overthinking or delaying. Finally, you may experience moments where results begin to compound unexpectedly. Efforts that were previously isolated now connect and amplify each other. Actions that seem small begin to generate large-scale impact. This compounding effect is a hallmark of a turning point that is actively unfolding. Archangel Michael reveals that these moments are evidence of divine orchestration, the acceleration of a timeline that was previously delayed. Recognize these compounding results and step fully into their potential without hesitation. Beloved, understand this clearly. The turning point will not be a vague feeling of hope. It will be accompanied by concrete evidence, opportunities, clarity, energy alignment, resolved obstacles, synchronicities, divine peace, and compounding results. Each of these is a signpost from Archangel Michael confirming that delay has been broken and momentum is now active. Your responsibility is to maintain focus, continue disciplined action, and resist any final attempts by doubt or distraction to divert your attention. The next revelation will illuminate the spiritual authority that comes with this turning point, and how your obedience in these final moments determines not just what is released to you personally, but the ripple effect it creates in the lives of others. The acceleration is not for private gain alone. It is a prophetic opportunity to align your life with divine purpose and influence those around you positively. Beloved child, as the turning point begins to unfold, there is a deeper layer that you must now embrace. Archangel Michael is revealing that with every breakthrough comes spiritual authority, and with authority comes responsibility. This is why March 12th is not merely a date on the calendar. It is a portal of divine alignment, a moment when preparation meets opportunity, and every choice you make from now until then determines the permanence of your momentum. You may feel the excitement of acceleration building, yet alongside it, a subtle challenge will emerge, the challenge of stewardship. The breakthrough is not meant to be hoarded. It is not merely for personal relief or accomplishment. Every revelation, every new opportunity, every open door carries a weight of influence. When you step into this season fully aligned, your decisions, your responses, and even your energy will impact others in ways that you cannot yet fully see. Archangel Michael reminds you that spiritual authority is exercised through alignment, not impulse. As you navigate these days leading to March 12th, guard your focus carefully. You may notice that opportunities appear rapidly, seemingly all at once. Messages, tasks, new responsibilities, and unexpected avenues will demand attention. It is easy to feel scattered when momentum accelerates. This is precisely the moment that tests whether your breakthrough will solidify or stall. If you allow external busyness to dictate your actions, delay can reassert itself even in the middle of acceleration. Focused action ensures that each step is aligned with your purpose, and alignment protects the breakthrough from slipping through your hands. Archangel Michael also warns of subtle distractions during this season of authority. External voices may attempt to pull you off course. Well-meaning advice, criticisms, or even the unresolved opinions of others can introduce doubt. These are tests of discernment. Do not react impulsively. Instead, evaluate every external input against your alignment. Does it support the path you are stepping into, or does it divert your attention? The ability to distinguish between guidance and distraction is a hallmark of spiritual authority, and practicing this now ensures that your decisions remain aligned with the divine plan. Your internal state is equally critical. Confidence will be tested as visibility increases. As you step into authority, others may notice your momentum and question your capability, often referencing your past patterns. Archangel Michael teaches that your spiritual authority grows when you respond with calm certainty. Confidence is not arrogance. It is trust in the preparation that has carried you to this point. It is discipline applied consistently. It is action anchored in clarity. Every time you respond with aligned decisiveness, your authority strengthens. Between now and March 12th, take deliberate steps to reinforce this authority. Organize your environment to support productivity. Eliminate habits that dilute your focus. Establish boundaries that protect your energy. Prioritize tasks that serve your purpose, and let go of anything that does not. Even small acts of obedience compound to produce significant momentum. This is how spiritual authority manifests in practical ways, through intentional, consistent, and disciplined alignment. You may also experience heightened sensitivity during this period. Thoughts, feelings, and intuitive nudges may appear with unusual clarity. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. Archangel Michael uses these subtle signals to guide you. They often indicate which actions are most aligned with the breakthrough and which are distractions. Listening carefully to these cues allows you to act decisively at critical moments. Responding without hesitation to these signals is what transforms opportunity into lasting momentum. At this stage, resistance may present itself in unexpected forms. It could be an old habit resurfacing, a fear of responsibility, or the temptation to delay for comfort. Archangel Michael reminds you that resistance often appears strongest just before breakthrough. It is designed to test your readiness and measure your commitment. When faced with this resistance, act deliberately, not impulsively. Each decision to stay aligned solidifies the authority and permanence of the turning point. Now is the time to engage fully with your spiritual and practical responsibilities. If this message is activating something within you, do not remain passive. Declare your alignment publicly. Share this message with someone who is standing on the threshold of their own breakthrough. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and participate in a community committed to maintaining momentum despite delay. Your engagement strengthens not just your personal alignment but also the collective readiness of those seeking to step into their own turning points. The next revelation will illuminate the exact moment when delay ends completely and acceleration becomes permanent, revealing the spiritual blessing code that accompanies your obedience. This is a moment that will not just alter your timeline but also extend influence into the lives of others who are awaiting divine timing. Hold your attention carefully, because what comes next will leave no room for hesitation and will prepare you to receive the fullness of what Archangel Michael is releasing. Beloved child, the moment of breakthrough is closer than you realize. Archangel Michael is now revealing how the final manifestation of the turning point will present itself in your life, and how your actions in the next hours or days will determine whether delay ends permanently or continues. What you are about to hear is not speculation. It is prophetic guidance designed to help you recognize, embrace, and steward the acceleration that heaven is releasing. As the turning point manifests, you will notice an unusual alignment between your decisions, opportunities, and timing. Actions that previously required struggle will now flow effortlessly. Conversations that once felt heavy will now resolve with clarity. Doors that appeared locked for months or years may begin to open without resistance. This is not coincidence. It is the orchestration of divine timing, carefully prepared by Archangel Michael and supported by your prior obedience, discipline, and focus. The more intentional you are with your steps, the more fully these opportunities will manifest. One key aspect of this stage is the rapid confirmation of your efforts. Tasks you initiated weeks or months ago may suddenly produce results far beyond what you anticipated. Projects, relationships, or initiatives that seem stagnant will accelerate simultaneously. This compounding effect is one of the clearest indicators that a turning point is active. Archangel Michael reveals that these confirmations are meant to strengthen your confidence and solidify your readiness for the next season. They are also tests. How you respond to accelerated success now determines whether momentum continues or is interrupted by fear, pride, or distraction. Visibility will increase. People will notice your growth. Your discipline and consistency will become evident in ways that were previously invisible. This attention may feel overwhelming at first. Some may celebrate you. Others may criticize or question your readiness. Archangel Michael emphasizes that this is natural. Responses from others reflect their perspective, not your alignment. Your authority is not validated by external approval but by faithful obedience and consistent action. Do not shrink back. Stand fully in the manifestation of your efforts. At this point, emotional clarity becomes critical. The breakthrough will reveal not only opportunities but also responsibilities. You will need to manage energy, prioritize effectively, and maintain focus despite increased activity and attention. The turning point is not simply the arrival of results, it is the capacity to steward them. Archangel Michael teaches that true acceleration requires discernment. Momentum can be wasted if it is mismanaged or divided among unnecessary distractions. This is why preparation in the days leading to March 12th has been essential. Every adjustment to habits, every boundary established, every focus maintained, has been strengthening your capacity to handle this moment. The unseen realm has aligned circumstances for you, but the visible manifestation requires active participation. What you do next, not what happens by chance, determines whether the season of delay ends permanently. You may also begin to notice increased synchronicity. Signs, confirmations, and timely alignments will appear consistently. Numbers, messages, encounters, and resources will seem to arrive just as you need them. Archangel Michael emphasizes that these synchronicities are markers of divine orchestration, guiding you to act decisively. Pay close attention. Respond without hesitation. Each aligned action compounds momentum. Distraction will attempt one final test. Past doubts, old fears, or unresolved hesitations may surface, seeking to divert your attention or convince you to retreat. Archangel Michael reminds you that the closer you are to acceleration, the stronger resistance can appear. This is not a reason for fear, it is confirmation that you are on the correct path. Respond with calm authority, grounded focus, and decisive action. Do not allow old patterns to influence the new season. As these signs unfold, you will experience a sense of heightened energy and clarity. Decisions will feel easier. Opportunities will appear more vivid. Challenges that once felt intimidating will seem manageable. This is evidence that the turning point is fully forming, and your spiritual authority is now active. The breakthrough is no longer theoretical. It is real, tangible, and imminent. The final moments before full manifestation will also test your trust. Some elements of the breakthrough may appear incomplete. Some doors may open partially. Some confirmations may feel subtle. Do not interpret this as delay. Interpret it as a preview, a signal that you are ready to step fully into responsibility and influence. Archangel Michael is guiding you to recognize these moments as critical preparation, not interruption. You are entering a season where delay ends and momentum accelerates permanently. Decisions you make now, the clarity you maintain, and the focus you protect will determine whether this turning point sustains its power. Resistance is natural, but it is temporary. Obedience is permanent. Discipline now ensures that acceleration is not fleeting, but continuous. The next part will reveal how to receive the final blessing, including the spiritual code that activates your permanent breakthrough and the way it extends beyond personal gain to impact those around you in profound ways. Beloved child, the culmination of this season has arrived. Archangel Michael is declaring that the turning point is no longer approaching. It is here. The alignment that you have prepared for, disciplined for, and protected your focus for is now activating fully. March 12th is the threshold, and stepping across it requires your awareness, your obedience, and your readiness to receive the full manifestation of what heaven has already set in motion. As the breakthrough unfolds, you will notice clarity in every area that has been delayed. Conversations that were previously stagnant will now move with resolution. Opportunities that once felt distant will arrive with timing that feels almost miraculous. Doors that seemed locked will now respond to your actions and your discernment. Archangel Michael emphasizes that this is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration meeting your readiness. The energy you have cultivated, the discipline you have maintained, and the decisions you have consistently made are converging to create momentum that cannot be stopped. Your visibility will also expand. Those who previously underestimated your potential will now witness your alignment. This is not for ego, nor is it a test of pride. It is the natural consequence of obedience and preparation. Archangel Michael is revealing that spiritual authority is now yours to exercise fully. Your words, actions, and decisions carry influence far beyond your personal life. This is why focus, clarity, and intentionality have been paramount. They ensure that your influence produces lasting impact and not temporary outcomes. Expect to experience synchronicities and confirmations that will feel unmistakable. Resources will appear at the exact moment needed. Conversations will resolve with precision. Solutions that previously seemed elusive will manifest effortlessly. Every alignment serves as both a sign and a reinforcement that delay has ended. This is the visible evidence of heaven's response to your faithfulness. Recognize these confirmations as markers that your turning point has fully arrived, and allow them to strengthen your confidence in what you are stepping into. Yet even in the midst of this acceleration, Archangel Michael warns of subtle tests. Old fears, nostalgic comforts, or unprocessed hesitations may surface. These are not threats. They are the final confirmation that your breakthrough is real. How you respond determines whether momentum continues uninterrupted. Respond with faith, with clarity, and with decisive action. Each aligned response solidifies your authority and reinforces the permanence of this turning point. You may notice a profound sense of peace and alignment settling within your spirit. This is not complacency, it is assurance. Heaven confirms that the delay season has ended. Momentum is now yours to steward. Responsibility accompanies opportunity, and your role is to maintain focus, act decisively, and influence wisely. Archangel Michael emphasizes that this is a moment to fully inhabit the authority you have been trained to carry. Beloved, take a deep breath and understand the magnitude of this hour. This is not merely about personal progress. This turning point creates ripple effects that extend beyond you. Your alignment, your clarity, and your obedience serve as a catalyst for others who are also waiting divine timing. Your breakthrough becomes a beacon, showing that delays are not permanent and that obedience produces momentum. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated over your life, your decisions, and your breakthrough. Archangel Michael has spoken. The shift is real. Your delay has ended. Your authority has begun. Now, hear this as a continuation of the spiritual guidance you have received. The acceleration you are experiencing is also an invitation to participate in a greater mission. Every step you take in alignment supports not only your growth, but also the awakening of others. If this message is speaking to your spirit, you have the opportunity to extend its reach. By offering support through super thanks, joining membership, or using the PayPal link in the description, you are not contributing to a channel. You are actively sowing into the lives of souls awaiting their own breakthrough. Your giving amplifies clarity, courage, and divine timing for countless others. When you give, you release a prophetic seed. Heaven responds by multiplying impact, opening doors, and accelerating timelines. This is not a suggestion. It is a divine invitation. Obedience in this hour carries reward, influence, and alignment beyond your immediate perception. Step forward now, support this mission, and witness the expansion not only in your life, but in the lives of others who are standing at their own threshold. March 12th marks the activation of your turning point. Your discipline, clarity, and readiness have brought you to this moment. Move with courage. Step with authority. Receive fully. And as you do, remember that your alignment influences more than just your own story. It becomes a beacon, a guide, and a catalyst for transformation in others. The delay is gone. The breakthrough is here. The authority is yours. Act decisively and let the momentum of heaven carry you forward. This is the season you have prepared for. This is the moment that transforms waiting into acceleration. This is the fulfillment of obedience, focus, and faith. Stand fully in it. Receive your blessing. Activate your authority. And support the mission of spreading divine clarity to others. For the ripple effects of your alignment are immeasurable.